evening, everybody. I can see there's some really eager beavers out there because everybody knows what's going to happen tonight. Something nice is going to be given away. I see that there's been plenty chat that's been going on already. Some really eager beavers, but I'll say hello to the people that I know: Brandon, Vico, Imran, Grant. Sure, there's a lot of chat going on here. A hell of a lot of chat going on here. Mr. Yayo, Khanamit Jayman here. Cameron Naidu, Radvir, Rusty. Hello everybody. You'll be seeing the Nightbot will give you all the stuff that's happening, links to Instagram, links to the different products that we've got, all those type of things. And yes, folks, I am giving one of these away tonight. Oh, it's the only one I've got. The fantastic blue Pulse 80 watt Tony B project with the Vandy Vape chip in it. I'm giving one of these. There it is, right in my hands. You will be winning this one because we've only got one. They haven't been released for wholesale yet, so you'll be the first person who's not a vape shop owner to have one of these in South Africa. So yeah, some lucky guy's going to be in 7th heaven, or woman at 7th heaven. Along with that, I'm going to be giving away the Vandy Vape Lit RDA, which is also a new product that hasn't hit the shores yet. I'll give you a bit of a rundown on that. Now you'll be getting exactly that setup. Okay, obviously all cleaned and neat and tidy. I have been testing it and putting it through its paces, but we'll chat about that a little bit later on. Otherwise, how is everybody? Is the sound okay? Can everybody hear me? No echoing, no anything like that? If somebody can just give me a thumbs up or two. I'm hoping everything is okay because I'm not getting any thumbs up. All good, cool. Hello Mr. Fisher, how are you? Well, Mr. Fisher's getting ready to go to Germany. I have given him his shopping list, and he promised that he was going to send me photographs if there's anything else. Rob's on his way to a big show in Germany, and he's one lucky son of a gun because he has got backstage pass. Well, I don't know what the whole story is, but yeah, so he's going to be a lucky fish in Germany. So he's off there, and I hope he's going to bring some nice things back for me that I've asked him for. So Rob, if we don't speak to you, have a lekker chip, but have a really lekker chip. Yep. Okay, I don't know about us lollies, but yeah, okay, anyway. I'm going to run through a couple of things before I get onto the Pulse. Obviously, there's new stuff that's come in the shop. I'm just going to give you a brief rundown of what's come in the shop. Some things I haven't even tried. You will be seeing we're doing these unboxing videos. I apologize about the first two videos. Just the lighting wasn't good, but we seem to have sorted it out now. So yeah, I'll be putting these little unboxing videos up on YouTube and the various channels with things that are arriving. I have not got a chance to do all of them. But yeah. What is new? Okay, we've got the iJoy Avenger, the 270, or they call the Avenger 270. It's a 234 watt device. And yes, folks, I don't know what your guys' opinions are. You can maybe voice your opinion. It's got voice activation. Have not tried it yet. I'm going to try. I'm going to unbox it tomorrow and have a conversation with it and see if it can understand South African. Might have to swear it a couple of times, but voice activated. I don't know what your guys' opinion is on it. I see there could be a place for it within limitations, but yeah. So evidently you can tell it what up, what down, and it goes up in 10 watt increments. But I'm going to play with that tomorrow. Yeah, so that's new. What else? I've got some new tanks that have come in from Vapresso. The 22mm and a 25mm that I'm going to do an unboxing video on that tomorrow. For those that were wanting the Berserker bottom fed mouth to lung RDA, that has arrived in the shop, folks. The Lyra 200 watt box mod, it's made by Lost Vape. It's like a budget version of one of their mods. So yeah, that's come into stock. Obviously the Recurve, which we're going to talk about now, what has come into the shop, which I'm really impressed about. I don't have one, but I'm going to do an unboxing on it. Is the Freemax Fire Luke. It's a mesh sub-ohm tank. Now Hugo, my partner, he doesn't do his own building, or he can, but he doesn't like doing it. He just likes using commercial coils, and he would average a coil a day. So far he's on day 3 with the first coil. The flavor of this sub-ohm tank, of the coil, of a mesh coil, is absolutely fantastic. We tried VCT in it, and everybody knows, myself and Hugo will be able to tell you what VCT tastes like in our sleep, and the flavor is spot on the sub-ohm tank. I've yet to find a sub-ohm tank that gives me the flavor that I want out of VCT, but evidently, not evidently, the flavor of this tank is absolutely off the hook. So I'm going to actually, yes, I'm going to bring one on the next show and actually show you, and I'll do a unboxing, because if it's that good, I might even use one myself. So yeah, those mesh tanks are there. There's a whole lot of new juices. The iJust 3 kit is out. So yeah, that's another thing. And also the iJust coils, which not a lot of people are. The iJust 3 coils are actually mesh coils as well. So yeah, I want to be quite keen to try that. Noisy Cricket come back into stock. Yeah, that's pretty much the most important things besides what I'm going to be talking tonight. Yeah, Delaray stain, as long as it doesn't try and tell me what to do, my wife already does that. Yeah, that could be a major problem, but yeah, no, you're obviously not going to do that. But I don't think it's far off where you're going to have a cell phone attached to your mod. I don't think that's far off neither. Mr. Vaping, I'm sorry, no, we've already spoken about it, but don't you think that's so sexy? This is absolutely the Zurich mod. I'm going to try and focus. Let me get my camera up here quickly. This, I get a woody from engineering, quality engineering. I'm going to try and zoom in on that. This is engineering like you can't believe. This inside of the Zurich, absolutely fantastic mod. Get that back to number 18. Yeah, so that was off the beaten path. Yeah, Kurt, I took the plunge. I actually bought one instead of just taking one out of stock. I actually bought one because if I didn't buy it myself, I would have felt guilty. So I actually bought it myself from myself. Okay, so what we have. I'm going to start off first on the Aqua reboot. Let me just pop up a picture of it. Okay, there's a lot of RTAs come out, stuff like that. I've heard really good things about it. Okay, this is the deck that you can see. I still don't know what those grooves are, those 3 grooves are. I've messaged them. I still haven't got an answer. I don't know what those 3 grooves are on the left hand side of 4 at all. So if someone knows the answer, please actually tell me. The nice thing that I like about this is that the way you can control your airflow. You know, normally you've got that airflow ring which you just twist up and down, and you know, sometimes depending on how good the seal is, if it can get it as restrictive as you want. The nice thing about this is, if you see there in between the posts, that's your airflow chamber, and below that on the deck is that little slider button. You can cut this airflow off to a point where it is a really restrictive mouth to lung RTA, which I don't think there is really any, besides if you go and buy a Aries or something like that, which is designed for that. You know, sometimes you want to do a bit of mouth to lung and you don't want to have 2 tanks. The flavor on this is absolutely insane. We first tried it off. Let me just get rid of this photo. I made the mistake. I went and put these massive big aliens in there, listening to what everybody, all these Americans and reviewers are saying. I went to put these massive big aliens, and I was expecting this mouthful of flavor, and I was absolutely disappointed with these massive coils. And I wasted some coils. I shouldn't have done that. reverted back to my normal standard build that I put in tanks when I test them, and absolutely blown away. The flavor of this thing, it's as good as any other RTA out there. You know, people always kind of judge you and say, well, yeah, you've got to sell stuff and stuff like that. Yeah, I've got to sell it. I wouldn't put it on the show if it wasn't something that I'm going to keep myself. And yeah, this Aqua, everybody, all the overseas reviewers that gave it rave review, they were spot on. The flavor is super, super intense. On the build that I've got in here, it's a juicy, mouth-watering vape. I'm busy vaping Jam Monster Blackberry. Oh, it is Blackberry in there. And oh man, the flavor is absolutely insane. So that's what came into the shop. It's in black and in silver. If you're in the market for a new RTA, it would be, and you are someone who doesn't use those big aliens or big fuse Claptons, and you use straightforward builds, this is the tank for you, because the flavor of it is insane. Even a little bra in the shop who's also got to a point where he's only using RDAs because of the flavor, he was blown away with this little tank. So yeah, if you're in the market, that's something good to look at. Even if you want to come to the shop and try it on mine, you will see how good the flavor is. Just going to answer some questions as we go there. Where is mine? I think mine's busy charging. Hi there, big guy. Have you tried, I'm assuming you're saying, try the Surin Air device? I'm looking for something to use for Nick salts when I'm out and about. That's I've got there. I've got the Surin, and I actually don't know how to pronounce this. Kurt is here. The lipid something from Kurt. Out of the two devices, they both give you very similar airflow, but I'm going to say the Surin gives you a little bit better flavor than this. You know, they both do exactly the same thing. This looks a hell of a lot prettier. Same fairly restrictiveness, but the flavor on the Surin is better in my opinion. Okay, so they're using it as a heatsink. I'd never thought about that. Thank you very much for that. Supposedly it's a heatsink to keep the post and coils cooler. I have to say that when I put it and I put these massive aliens in, this tank got seriously hot. It was, yeah, not dangerously hot, but it was really, really hot. You know, with these smaller coils that I've got in there now, no heat whatsoever. Or just your general heat. But when I've had the big monster coils, this tank got hot. It got really, really hot. Another person saying is how the airflow in the chamber. Yeah, yeah. I'll have to wait for them to give me a reply why they did that. Airflow also makes sense, but how those three lines that would do anything, I don't quite know, because it's only on one side. But yeah, my standard build that I use for any tanks that I test them with is 24 gauge nichrome. It's flat wire from Haywire, 7 wrap. 3mm or 3.5mm ID. That's my testing build that I use for any tank, RTA, and if it's a triple coil, I use triple of them. If it's a single coil, I use a single coil, vice versa. It's the same benchmark throughout. Give you the same vaping experience. I can just check up on flavor and stuff like that. Jam Monster's tops, yeah, it is good juice. That blackberry is a really good juice. I'm enjoying it. Cam Arts ask, how much is the pulse going to be? Have no idea yet. We haven't got it through customs and stuff like that yet. Ryan, it's not so much that the coils are closer to your mouth. It's the amount of air that can get into the chamber. You know, if you look at that small little chamber that's there, where the air's got to circulate around your coils, and then you take it there, the amount of air that it's got to circulate there, It's the air and the flow of air that gives you the flavor. It's the flow of the air over the coils that gives you the flavor. Sakia asked Big Guy, how do you know, I'm assuming know when to change your cotton or your wire on a dripper? It's, you know, when you're starting to lose flavor. I'm a bit of a what's the word I'm looking for, anal when it comes to that. I tend to change my cotton every day, just so that I get crisp, clear flavor every single solitary day. Most people do it every 3 days, maybe 4 days at a push. I do it every single solitary day. If not, I do it. I get somebody, Kurt Lacarte, I can't pronounce those words. I get one of the guys in the shop to help me just to change them, because I walk around with plenty devices. That's my devices that I walk around with. So I've got lots of devices. Okay, now let's get to the Recurve. From Watofo, it was a Mark Vapes creation. This is absolutely epic. It's got a flaw, some flaws in my opinion, but it's absolutely epic. I did do an unboxing, so I'm not going to go through the whole thing. It's just what I'd like to add is I did make a mistake in my video, and I actually figured out how I made the mistake. It was because this is somebody who did a review that I watched on it. Obviously, when loading or something, the rotation of the camera was flipped 180 degrees. So I saw the guy turning, which looked like the way he was turning was one way, but it was actually the other way. I was moaning that the airflow was too tight to turn, and because I was trying to turn it clockwise. If you turn it anti-clockwise, that's how easy the airflow, you can adjust your airflow. So I apologize to anybody. I apologize to Mark Vapes and whoever those guys, if they ever get to watch the video. I complained because I tried to turn it and it wouldn't turn. It's like, yeah, so much storm alert. But it's actually that easy. You just turn it anti-clockwise and it will open the air or close the airflow. And also Dreschen, all the way from the United Kingdom, he sent me a message to say, Craig, look, you forgot something which you mentioned to people, which I really didn't even know that it was there, because I don't think I ever saw it on a video, which is really clever. Position, I figured it out with this RDA. Positioning of your coils is critical. Okay, if it's too low, the flavor is like average. If it's too low, okay. In the box comes this little, it looks like an Allen key, but it's not an Allen key. It's the round bar that has been, let me see if I can find some coils out there. Some coils is a round bar. Now I think you might look at what the hell they're giving me a round Allen key for. What this is for is, in the pack is your coils. Okay, is you slide your coil right up to the end. I'm going to zoom in on this here, just give me 2 seconds. You can see it there. You slide your coil right up to the end of that there, like that, and you cut at the top there. Take it off, flip it around, put your coil through, and cut it at the top of that. That's the ideal height that you need to have your coil at when it's totally pushed into the deck. And now that I know that, and I changed it to that height, this RDA is absolutely, yeah, it's the flavor on it is absolutely insane. So much so that somebody who's not even not a squonker, and I'm sure he won't mind if I actually mention it, Rob Fisher, he comes in the shop and he moans about all these RDAs and he's squonking and there's wada, and he always, like he always does do, he buys stuff and tries it. He bought one and he's loving it. I'm sure he'll put his 2 cents in a little bit later on it. But absolutely epic. I'm going to throw some photos up of it quickly. I'm going to show you with that coil. You know, a lot of guys will try and get it lower down. if you look at where those on the side, where those airflows coming in, the top airflow must line up with the middle of the coil, exactly as it is there now. And if you use that tool, it'll measure up perfectly. Just want to throw some other photographs up here. There's a look at the recurve deck. And obviously it is bottom fed. It's designed for bottom fed. Okay. What I love about this is it's simplistic in its design, but yet so effective. That honeycomb airflow, we were having a discussion in the shop about it today. That honeycomb airflow that you see on the sides, it dissipates or splits that air up so perfectly around your coil that there's no one part of your coil that's not getting air. And that's what I believe this honeycomb filtration system of your air getting in is doing and improving the flavor. You know, I still swear blind that the Carlin Mini, the way that airflow is done, if they can fit that similar type of airflow coming from underneath, like on the Carlin Mini, on any other RTA, dual coil RTA, it'll beat everything hands down. Yeah. Oopsie, sorry, wrong picture. I must take that off. I've got it on my Clear Edition Monarch. I've got a 5-core Alien in here, so it is a bit of a, I changed it to, it's a bit of a rager. Absolutely, the flavor. This Castle, I'll rate it my #1 from a flavor perspective. Okay, this has just taken it over it from a flavor perspective. It surpasses it. However, the downfall is it's not a RDA for sorry, I forgot to turn that off. It's not an RDA for vapor production. You know, if I'm going to gauge this out of 10 for flavor, I'm going to give it 9.7. If I'm going to gauge this at a vapor production, I'll probably give it a 6.5 at a push. So if you're a flavor chaser, this is an RDA you've got to have in your collection. It's not these small little ones like, you know, like I'm just trying to think what I've got here. It's not these small little things like the Armor, you know, if you compare size wise, it's quite large. Okay. Yeah, if you compare it to that, it's quite large. Okay. But the flavor that comes off it is absolutely intense. In your face, you taste every bit of what the juice maker was trying to get into his juice. So I must have, if you are a 22mm fan, gotta have this in your arsenal. Oh, I've got a juice in here. What's it called? Butter Me Up. Oh, such a lekker juice. Oh, really tasty. Let me just check if there's any questions or answers or people who need anything. Hold on. Kishan, they do send, they will send you a door, but you'll have to contact them directly. Yeah, I have to say that little bar, just the inclusion of the little bar makes it for me, and I didn't even know that it was there. Thank goodness to Dreschen for picking that up. You know, I tend to sometimes skip through the unboxing of things when other guys do the review because I go watch so many reviews, but it was really nice to see that included. Ronaldo, I have not tried it as just as a dripper. Okay, you know, I'm gonna say as a dripper you're still gonna get the same flavor or whatever like that. You know, I don't think anything there is gonna change. The only thing is dripping through there. You know, over dripping could be an issue. You know, where obviously the squonker you're getting sucking away, but I don't think there'll be any difference. There shouldn't be any difference in flavor. check if there's anything else. Honeycomb airflow and Ubuntu V2. Look, the Hadley to me was a load of shit. It was probably the one of 22 millimeters that I did not enjoy at all. I thought the flavor was average on it. The Entheon, I don't have an original. I have a clone, so I can't give you opinion there. On the original stuff and the clones that I've tried, you know, as I said earlier, the Castle, this little Castle, which we are from Hotsig. Just if you can just check how domed that cap is, and that's the inner cap as well. The flavor on that thing was so intense, and this is if better than that, in my opinion. Obviously, in my opinion. It's got also this inner chamber. This inner chamber is lovely and curved. You see it in my close-ups on the unboxing. Yeah, I would pay good money. Well, okay, I don't have to pay good money for it, because I've got one. But I would pay good money if I had to lose this and I didn't have any in stock and I had to buy one from somebody else. I would buy it again. Look at Kevin asks, would you say that it's the best RDA for a squonker out at the moment? It's a totally subjective thing, you know. As I said, you know, I'm a vendor. We get stuff in. I've got to sell stuff at the end of the day, but it's stuff that I personally feel that I need it in my rotation. Okay, I've got if I had to zoom in on all the stuff that I've got lying around, that's just, I'll show you now. That's just some of my RDAs and RTAs. That's just some of them. There's 2 boxes there full of stuff. That's just some of them. Okay, let me get this camera back. Okay, I've got free choice of anything in the shop. Okay, and I've used to be somebody who chased clouds, and now I'm all about the flavor. And I'm always looking for the next best thing and that's it for me. But in saying that, if I had to do a calculation on, if I gave you 10 out of 10 for flavor, out of 10 for vapor, and then out of 10 for flavor stroke vapor, it would be an average tank. Average RDA. But if you're chasing flavor, absolutely awesome. If you're chasing vapor, no. If you're wanting vapor and flavor, then get yourself a Nudge 22. Okay, that's what I'm trying to say here. For flavor, this is absolutely epic. Flavor and clouds, the Nudge 22. I've got that on here. That's a little 22. That's the amount of vapor I'm getting off a 22. Yeah, I'm a big lover of Watofa. Watofa and Geek Vape. You got to watch them. They are absolutely epic. Rob Fisher, Juicy Licks Toffee. I actually haven't tried that, Rob. I have not tried that. I'm going to do that tomorrow. I'm going to try that tomorrow. That's actually a freaking good juice for it. Sharing is caring. Yeah, Kevin, way better flavor than a Carlin Mini. You've got to remember, it's the amount of air that you can get around. Okay, if you look at the inside of the chamber, that's where your air can circulate around. Okay, on the inside of it, let me just grab any. What have I got you? Okay, it's not a Carlin Mini. It's a big Carlin. It's about air movement. Okay, that's not probably the best one to look at it. Let me just, there we are. Damn it. Look at the size of that inner chamber and look at the size of that inner chamber. Way more airflow on this. Way more air can get around your coils, and it's not having to go up a massive big chimney to get out to you. That's the reason why the flavor is so good. Wrong deck. Close that off. The clear edition Monarch gives me a semi. I tell you now, when I saw it the first time, it did the same to me. Nudge 24 is also very good. Some people battle to put coils in there. That's just the only problem with the Nudge 24. People battle to put the coils in there. Drawbacks on the Castle, the vapor production. It's not designed. If I had to give that a rating on vapor, it'd probably get less than 5. It's not vapor related at all. There's like also it's a 510. You know, it's a 510 mouthpiece. Okay, drip tip. Yeah, no, that I'd probably give less than 5. But the flavor is really good in there. Okay, what are we here for? Dum dum dum. The Vandy Vape Pulse. Okay, obviously everybody knows that there's all this politics been going on between Vandy Vape and Vupu regarding the chip in this. Okay, we've seen, I think everybody's seen the videos going on around it and stuff like that. That's someone screwed someone over and whatever, but needless to say, that is what the Pulse looks like. Okay, I'm just going to zoom in on it. Just let me zoom in on it. Okay, epic craftsmanship. Epic craftsmanship. Okay, these panels all come off. You can get interchangeable panels for it. Okay, it takes a 2700 battery, or you get a sleeve with it. Okay, it's 80 watts. I'm currently running it at 56 watts. The squonk bottle, it's not a super soft. It's probably an in-betweener. It gives you a little bit of, it's not super soft. It's a soft bottle. Okay, but the way this bottle closes is epic. I love this bottle. Not one bit of leakage or whatsoever on this bottle to date. Okay, what I'm about to say, this is the second one I had. Okay, okay, I did receive one from Vandy Vape. I've got to be honest with you guys, and the whole board failed on me. Okay, when I opened it up to have a look inside to see if I could see something, I did find a stray copper wire running across it, which I think burnt out some circuits. It would come on, but then the power button just wouldn't work. Okay, we've sent it back. They're busy investigating and stuff like that. They've done a whole lot of new changes and they've updated firmware as far as I know. But I've been using this for a couple of days now and not a problem whatsoever. I haven't measured it on a voltmeter, but to me the wattage feels true. Okay, that it's, if you're vaping on 50 watts or 55 watts, that the wattage is the true wattage. I actually am going to go buy a voltmeter tomorrow and just test it to see that it is putting out the correct wattage. But my taste buds have never, and my 10 years of vaping, almost 10 years of vaping, haven't let me down so far. Easy to use and navigate menu, responsive. Is it as responsive as the drag chip from hitting the fire button? No, it's not. There is a couple of milliseconds delay compared to the drag. Okay, but needless to say, it does everything it's supposed to do. Okay, I'm running a 0.17 ohm set of coils on here, and you can see they're a bit spitty. It does, it fires. It's marginal. It's milliseconds difference between that and the Vupu chip, in my opinion. In the hand, it feels of quality. You know, these what do you call these panels, man? What are they called? What is this stuff called? I forget now. I forget. You know, there's no, that's the boards. There's no rattle whatsoever. Battery, there's no battery rattle. There's no, if I really vigorously shake it, there's a bit of button rattle. But yeah, they've knocked it out the park. I really honestly say they've knocked it out the park. The vaping experience is good. Vaping experience is good. It feels like it's delivering 55 watts. That's what I've got it at. I'm going to ramp it up to 80 watts. These coils can take it. Now you can see a lot bigger difference on 80 watts, and I'll take it down to 50 watts. My OCD kicking in. That's on 50 watts. That's 50, and I run it to the max. 80 watts. You can see I'll put money on it that it's hitting the true wattage. Could the Vupu chip do any better? We will never know. Okay, to be honest with you, I'm loving it. I think when they do eventually arrive, I will take one out of stock for myself. Yeah, epic. Squonk, I take my hat off to these guys. You know, with what everybody's gone through. I don't think there's a kit version, to be honest with you. As far as I know, they're not doing a kit, but that's what the boxing looks like. Okay, it does come with a 18650 battery converter, so you can slap a 18650 in there. USB, really long USB cord, and then obviously the user manual underneath. I don't know what the price is going to be. I won't lie to you. I don't know what the price is going to be on it, but it's going to be cheaper than they originally advertised, because obviously they're not having to fork out money to Vupu now. So I think they're going to be a little bit more reasonable than what people thought. But yeah, all I can say is epic squonker. You know, I think Tony B can be proud of it. Yeah, you know, the Pulse mech was good in its own right. This is also really good. Going to be a good budget squonker. Let's just take some questions quickly. Craig, what's your opinion on tennis biscuits by Mr. Hardwick's? We were actually having this discussion the other day, and I have to say I was a little bit nervous to have this discussion. We had Joel from Hardwick's down in the shop for the launch of it, and as I've said numerous occasions in my existing other videos, is that for some reason juice makers in Joburg, not all of them, but some of them, their juices do not taste the same on the coast. And I think it's got to do with the quantity of concentrates that they add into it. That they mix it for the Joburg very thin air environment. And as soon as you bring it to the coast with our thick humidity and dense air pressure and atmospheric pressure, the flavor changes the whole thing. So and we were having this discussion. That's why a lot of Joburg juices actually don't sell that well in Durban or along the coast. But needless to say, I love the juice. Grand Slam, I think it's what it is, and what is delivered is exactly on point. You know, is it a juice that I'd vape the whole day? No, I wouldn't vape it the whole day. But that's just because that's not my cup of tea. You know, I've got more into the fruity type of vibe, and You know, I will from time to time have a tank. Is it selling in Durban? Yeah, it's selling in Durban. So I think the flavors are maybe a little bit muted down on the coast compared to inland. People inland will be tasting it totally different than on the coast, because I think Joel did allude to the fact that he did pick it up. But yeah, I like the juice. Have you tried? Kiddo says, have you tried using 18650 battery? Is there a difference using batteries with squonkers? Is there a difference using battery with squonkers? It's just really battery life at the end of the day, and these bigger batteries, you can tend to go slightly lower on your build because the most of them are of a higher amperage. Sorry, I'm just trying to catch up on questions here, guys. Resin, yeah, sorry, fucking resin panels, my god. Yeah, don't get me wrong, the drag is a really good device, and it's a really popular device. I'm just comparing the chip, because obviously the same chip that's in the drag or similar version was going to go in here. Yeah, at 80 watts, you can tell this is running at 80 watts. No, your battery life will never be good at 80 watts. You know, you're going to be if you're vaping at 80 watts, you're going to be having to carry around 2 to 3 batteries a day. Nathan, have no idea on prices yet. Have no idea on price. Andre, I think in the next week. It says, how long until we see the Aegis Legend locally? I think they arrive next week sometime. Kaiser, Rage, Squonker. I see so many things. I can't remember or recall it. Maybe PM me a photograph of it and I'll let you know. Okay, so they did test it. Yanni Bosch's DJL labs tested it. It's overpowered and it does actually fire faster than the Gene chip. I'm really excited. Okay, cool. Okay, so I don't have to go buy a voltmeter tomorrow then. Okay, so yeah. It's hard also because by the naked eye, you know, unless you've got something recording or slow motion to see how fast it fires, you know, you're relying on your naked eye. Ronaldo, I don't know what the Recurve, if it's shiny or not. I haven't played with one yet. Best is to look at the photographs on the website. Their post will come up with a link to it. They'll be able to tell you there. Yeah, no, it's Wesley. I don't think it's an interesting theory. I'll put some really good money on it that's the reason why juices. And I've had this discussion with Paulie before. You know, he moans, because I've known Paulie for a long time. He always moans me, why don't you stock my juices? And I said, well, you know, honestly, they don't sell. Sparkle, one of his juices sells, but every other juice just doesn't sell, you know. And the prime example is VapeCon 2 years ago when he released the oak-aged coffee cake. Oh man, he gave me 100, myself and Hugo each 100ml bottle. And I probably, one day I clapped like 50 mils, and I thought, you know what, I actually can't, because we're only going to have 100 mils each. And I left it for about a week until we got back to Durban, and I tested it here, and I walked into the shop and I said, Hugo, taste this. It doesn't taste the same on the coast. And I love that juice, but in Durban it just doesn't taste the same. I'm sure it's the atmospheric pressure and the denseness of our air that doesn't carry the flavor well. I'm almost positive of it. Yeah, Kurt also. Yeah. Why do your cars run better down here as well? Sarushan asks, Craig, what do you prefer, higher ohm or lower ohm builds? It all depends on what I'm vaping, to be honest with you. My fruity vapes, I like it higher wattage, so it's lower ohms. My desserty is probably your middle of the road. My tobaccos, I like it at high ohms, low wattage. That sums it up in a nutshell, I think. Ronaldo, nah, it's just pretty straightforward and simple, but pretty straightforward and simple. It's got bypass mode. Yeah, it's got bypass mode and all your temperature functions and temperature sensing and all that type of stuff. Xander, Mr. Xander Niva. Hey, Xander from X-Hub is in the house. Yeah, well, Xander's there. Xander did the launch of juices of the X-Hub stuff in Durban with us, and he witnessed it. And he's a juice maker himself. Juices in the coast taste totally different, absolutely different. There's Mr. Rob Fisher giving his 2 cents on the Recurve. Yeah, Mad King it says his best ohm is 0.25. Okay, on most of my 22mm single coils, I'm probably about the 0.17, 0.18. That's on most of my, but I've got fruits in pretty much all of them, I think. Then I'm probably about 0.2 to 0.3, 0.25 to 0.3 for my desserts, and then like 0.4, 0.5 for my tobacco juices. Raina asks, what's your best recommended tobacco flavor? Ripe Vapes from VCT. It is an international tobacco. It's my all-time favorite, and I've said that on, I think, close to 20-30 shows I've done. Absolutely epic flavor. Night Kurt. Havana Nights is a really good juice. For me it just doesn't do it for me. Not taking anything away from the juice. Old Naeem and me are good mates, and yeah, he's probably, I'm gonna go out on a limb and say he is South Africa's #1 juice maker, hands down. I bow down to his excellence in what he does and how he comes up with his juices. But Havana Nights and me just don't go hand in hand. I think it's the roughness of it, which a lot of people like. I just don't like it. Brendan also, the beard says, so does that mean coastal juices will be even better inland? Not necessarily, you know what I mean? The problem is with coastal juice makers, you know, when we're coming up with our juices, we are setting it up for how we want it to taste on the coast. Now, if my theory is correct, if it goes inland, some of those flavors might be overpowering, and it might push people off that juice, especially highly complex juices, that it might push one part of concentrate. Hypothetically, let's just take a cinnamon Danish, for example. On the coast, that cinnamon might be muted enough in your recipe, but on inland, that cinnamon might come out and might turn people away from the juice. So it's really a tough one. So any budding juice makers and who want to get into the business, suggestion is send your juices all over the country so you can get an honest opinion from all of them, and then try and do an average across them. That'd probably be the best advice I can give. to be replaced. Donovan asks, what about the salt content in the air at the coast? Nah, I don't think that'll have a problem. I think it's got to do with how thick the air is down here and the humidity of the air. Sorry. Yeah, there's my lattes bugging me. Yeah, there's the future of Survape behind you. My little chop. Rob Fisher, 0.5 ohm and 0.7 Nikon 80. Yeah, no, that's a good place to vape at, especially if you chasing flavor. Really low ohm builds can destroy juices. Ryan, it doesn't bypass you. If you've got like a short or something like that, it'll still pick it up. But it basically, all it bypass does is it bypasses the part of the firmware that controls your wattage and your battery life. Okay, when you put it into bypass, it just gives you whatever the battery's got. So if the battery can pump out 80 watts, it's going to pump out 80 watts. If the battery's depleted and can only pump out 30 watts, it's only going to pump out 30 watts. Yeah. I do have a couple of bottles left of VCT. You'll have to wash my bucky a lot of times, bro, because I only pay my latte like 20 bucks, 50 bucks to wash my car. Yebo pizza, 1 ml to 5 ml. Remember, no nicotine. Just checking. It's a time. Okay. If you haven't already said, the keyword tonight is Vandy. So one lucky winner is going to win this exact setup that I'm vaping on. Obviously, we'll clean it up and everything like that. You might have a faint residue of juice in the bottle. You'll have a clean RDA. We'll put it through the machine to clean it. Then that's what you're going to win. You're going to win the lit RDA from Vandy Vape, and you're going to win this exact 80 watt box. So I hope that one of you are one of you are going to be really lucky tonight. No thanks, Andre. I've got a mother-in-law of my own. Yeah, I've got a mother-in-law of my own. Okay, let's just actually see how many people want free shit. 83 people. 86 people. 91 people. Comes that time of the show where people just switch on because they want to win something. Okay, I'm just joking, guys. I don't have a problem with that. Cool. Okay, that's it. So what we're going to do now is we're going to swap over to the giveaway program. Oh, where's my mouse? Hopefully it works this time. Let's go to Nightbot. You can see there that the keyword is Vandy. Okay. Regular supporters have got more chance of winning. So what I do is I roll it 3 times, and the person on the third roll is the person that wins it. I've only got 1 to give away, so don't say, well, I came second, what do I get? You don't get fuck all. Only the person on the third roll wins it. Okay, so let's roll it the first time, and let's roll it the second time. And good luck, everybody. This will be the winner of the Pulse 80 watt and the Lit RDA. Jason H, if you can please private message me. Let me just switch this off here. If you can please private message me, I need your full name, I need your address, I need your cell phone number and postal code. Okay, please, if you can just PM me that, and I will get the stuff out to you tomorrow. Just remember, it is this device. You're not getting a brand new one. This is my test unit that you're getting, and you will be the first customer in South Africa to win this, to have one of these. So congratulations to you. Any questions, guys? Any questions? And there go the viewers. Boom, 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 boom. Anything you'd like to see on the show, guys, just let me know. I will be doing those unboxing videos now that we've got some nice lighting sorted out. We will be doing those unboxing videos, but make sure that you're watching our social media pages. We've got the launch of Outcasts coming next Wednesday. Somebody is going to win a full range of this, also be the first person in South Africa who's a customer to have a range of these. So make sure to watch our Instagram pages and stuff like that. We'll be announcing it there. Just going to leave it on for a couple of minutes to see if there's any questions. If not, that will be the end of the show. Xander, I'll take you into a corner and we can have a punch out. How's that? That's what you get for second prize. Ryan, we're not getting the gold drag. Your wattage is too high. You're vaping on and you're destroying you need to change your cotton at least once every 2 days, but it's the cotton and the residue CBD that's burning and your ohmage is too high. I will do the Aquarii review tomorrow. Interview with Vaping with Vic. Yeah, I can try and do that. Table camera, Craig. Yeah, I have been thinking about doing that, getting a table camera so we can do that. Yeah, but I'm spending far too much money. Quick DIY recipe for. I find strawberry works well with it, yeah, strawberry and cake. That's what I find. Get next time you order from us, Peter. Get yourself a bottle of Flavor Art Nana's cake and strawberry ripe and a little bottle of sweetener. That's all you need. And I'll give you a recipe for that, my boy. That's what I'm using. I've got Nana's cake, strawberry ripe from TFA, and that's all I'm using in it. Jean asks, Craig, have you tried Cotton Bacon's juice? Opinions, if you have. I really like not the watermelon one, the other one. Not the watermelon one, the other one. I can't remember the name of it. The name of it top of my head. I like that one. I'm not a big lover of the watermelon one. Just for me, doesn't taste like what I would expect it to taste like. But yeah. But remember, juice is subjective. What's good for me might be cup for you, and vice versa. Yanni, we can, yes, with the greatest of pleasure. Maybe if you guys, we can maybe do a building show. How's that? Let's maybe do that next week, Wednesday. I'll put a little camera and we can do some live building, and you can give me the mods that you got. If I've got the tank here, I'll build it for you while we watch. Is Asmodus Lustra a good mod? Yes, it is a good mod. Is it better than the Vupu drag? It really comes down to aesthetics because they both do exactly the same thing. Nathan, I think there might be 1 or 2 left. Andre, I'm not too sure about that. RSQ versus Vandy Vape. Probably we're going to go the RSQ. I'm sorry, the RSQ, the Vandy Vape, the Pulse. Wesley, get hold of Etienne in the shop. He'll give you a name of a company that can do it. That sells those screws. Can't remember it off the top of my head. Get hold of Etienne. He'll be able to tell you the name of the company. Mark says, why do Surik mods not fire below 0.15? So pretty, but not suited to how I vape. I don't know. Mine does. I'm firing at 0.11 on that. Yeah, don't know. Okay, guys, thank you very much for watching again. Congratulations to the winner. Please make sure to PM me with all those details that I needed from you. I'll get your mod out to you. It will leave tomorrow, but with all the public holidays, you'll more than likely only get it on Monday, I think Monday, or maybe on Wednesday, depending on the public holidays, but it will leave tomorrow. But yeah, guys, thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate it. Thanks for the input. Dreshen, thank you very much for the information that you sent me regarding the Recurve. Really appreciate that. If you guys, I'm not, before I end, these are my opinions, folks, and it's something that I'm passionate about. I'm a passionate vapor. I didn't start off to vape to make money, although I didn't start off to make money. And at the end of the day, it's all about vaping. It's not about anything else but vaping. So yes, I make mistakes. I might forget to do things. I might forget to tell you about something in the device. But at the end of the day, they're all my opinions. You can either take my opinion or leave my opinion, and I'll try to give you the best advice possible. That best suits you, your vaping experience, and your budget. So yeah, good night, gentlemen and ladies. If there are any ladies watching, have a lekker long weekend, and please remember, folks, alcohol and petrol do not mix. So be careful, and if you're coming down to Durban, be careful, because there are going to be roadblocks all over the place. Okay, guys, night night. Uncle Rob, have a lekker trip overseas. Cheers.